Southern Railfan is the place for amazing videos of all types of trains. Southern Railfan, subscribe today.
Okie dokie, we're getting our day started off here on Railroad Street in Marion. We're going to catch the eastbound P87 and hopefully a westbound, I believe it's a 92G. It's another geometry train for this year, and it's being pulled by a single SD40-2, my favorite locomotive. So I have a little NS action on this video. As the dispatcher goes, he'll be going on down to Bridgewater and maybe meet that 92G there before he starts his work. Okie dokie, we ease down here to Carolina Avenue. That way we could keep an eye out on CSX and Norfolk Southern. And thanks to Blake Wallen, we're going to be able to catch that westbound geometry train. I think it's got the brick on it. He's calling 92Q. But the biggest reason I wanted to see it, he's being pulled by a single SD40-2. Love that horn. I've seen about 6 people on that train and not one of them even scared to lift their hand. Crazy. Pretty cool. That horn was pretty awesome. But before we run over and try to catch this northbound CSX train, let's talk a little bit about this geometry set. Norfolk Southern's got 2 sets. The one we just looked at, it has that dip in the sensing and measuring unit there in front of that passenger car, and another one it's kind of straight across. But this unit, the 34, that measuring and sensing unit, kind of looks like a locomotive, but it's not. It carries the sensing, like I said, the sensing and measuring equipment in it, and it started life as a Norfolk and Western SD35 with the original number of 1530 on it before it was converted. And that business car or observation car with that big picture window in the back of it, it's got a pretty interesting life too. It started out as a Union Pacific 44-seat coach built in 1950 by Pullman Standard. UP sold it to Alaska Railroad in 1971, and Alaska Railroad retired it sometime around 1980 or 1982. And eventually sold it to St. Louis Car in 1987. Well, it sat in their yard for a while until about 1994, and that's when NS purchased it and moved it to Roanoke to be modified for geometry purposes. So that's pretty cool. Now the geometry card that's set, what it does is looks at the track and gathers data electronically with lasers and measuring equipment, cameras, and to gather that information for people to look at. Now, there's two different types of geometry sets, and they're all pulled by a locomotive, and traditionally they're by themselves. Every once in a while you'll see one on the back of a through freight, but it's not doing what it's doing. It's just going from one destination to the other. Now, they measure the alignment, how true the track is. They test and gather information on the cross level, and that's the cant and pitch of the track. The curvature, the degree of the curve. The track gauge, how far the rails are from each other. The rail profile, and that's the wear and to the top of the rail. Sometimes you can look and see it's kind of rounded to the inside. And also ground conditions, what the ballast looks like and whatnot. And then, of course, the rail joints. Now, just because you see this geometry set running somewhere doesn't necessarily mean that they're testing. I mean, they could be just running that from one place to another. I know it's been on the AS line through here maybe 4 times. I know at least 2 times, if not 3 times in the last year running through. Now, sometimes they're manned and they're gathering that information, and sometimes they just kind of gather the information all the way through, and then somebody looks at it remotely. So anyway, that's just a little bit on the geometry set that we've seen. So let's run over and see if we can catch this northbound CSX man. that was a nice, awesome wave. Had to get back to the friendly cruise. I'm just picking on NS. Those guys didn't know me, I guess. That's why they didn't wave. So. Alrighty. Alright. What in the world? Having issues with my blouse. Anyway, that's our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.